Hi everyone. In the last class, we have seen various components of a GUI application, and for all these components, we have discussed various type of constructors, methods, and various type of data members. All those we have discussed, and events I didn't explain them in the last video, but I have explained in the previous sessions while discussing. um, the event handling mechanism. Okay, see, for button, action event, for mouse event, all these are all I have discussed there itself. Okay, now in today's class, let me explain the concept of layout mechanism. Layout mechanism. I mean, if you take a container, so let us assume that this is a kind of container. So whenever you are trying to add the components on this container by using the method add method, uh, depending upon the type of container that you are using, depending upon the type of container that you are using, the order of the contents, the order of the components arrangement is varied. The order of the arrangement of the components is varied. Various type of containers are there. Frame container is there, panel container is there, window container is there, applet container is there. So like this, various type of containers are there. Various type of containers are there, right? So so every container will follow their own way of arranging the components. Their own way of arranging the components. Okay, fine. So that is the reason. If you would like to wish to arrange the components on your required way, then we need to know the concept of layout mechanism. I mean, let me go for the definition of the layout. So layout means uh, it is simply a way of arranging the components in the container, arranging the components in the container. Okay, meaning that if you would like to place the components in a particular order, then we can know the concept of layout mechanism. Generally, uh, for a container, or the depending upon the type of container, it having its own layout manager, its own layout manager. Like, for example, let me take a panel and an applet. A panel and an applet. It is having layout manager, their own layout manager, and it will follow a mechanism called flow layout mechanism. And frame will follow frame will follow border layout mechanism. Border layout mechanism. Like that, the depending on the type of container, it will follow the different type of layout mechanisms. Layout mechanism. Generally, if you make them live as it is, the components in the GUI application may arrange in some uh, their own way order. If you wish to arrange in your own way, then I can go for study the concept of layout mechanism. And also one thing, so if I am going to define the size of this window to 300 by 300, 300 by 300, and I have arranged all the components in such a way that it gives more look and feel. But if I change the size, or if I change shape, automatically the components arrangement will vary. Component arrangement will vary. I hope you already know this thing. I think so. Uh, So I have explained, right? So for the sake of this simplicity, I am showing this. Whenever I am resizing this, see the components are moving or not. Components are moving. These are all by default taken care by the layout manager. These are all by default taken care by the layout manager. Okay, we need to take care. We need to take care. So that is why we need to study the concept of layout mechanism. Okay, fine. So if you understand the various type of layout mechanisms, you can use a specific layout mechanism for your GUI application. That depends upon your requirement. That's it. So if you want to specify a specific layout mechanism for a container, then we can use a method called set layout method. So set layout method is used for to specify the type of layout mechanism is used for my container. Used for my container to develop a GUI application. Okay, if you see the profile of this set layout method, it is public void set layout of. It is going to accept. It is going to accept an object. What kind of object it is accepting? It is accepting object of layout manager. Object of layout manager. So what are these various kind of layouts? So the various kind of layouts are like if I say, let me take first border layout is one kind of layout, and flow layout is one kind of layout. Various types of layout mechanisms, and grid layout is one kind of mechanism, and grid back layout, and chord layout. These are all various kind of layout mechanisms which are available in AWT. They're available in AWT. Okay, so if you clearly understood about the different type of layout mechanisms of all these five, automatically you can get an idea which kind of layout mechanism you can use for to develop your required application. Okay, first let me explain border layout. Border layout. Okay, so this border layout, it is going to the name itself having a clear meaning. Border layout. So layout means arranging the components in the container. How we are going to arrange the components in the container? By following the border. By following the border. Let us assume that this is a kind of container. This is a kind of container. It will follow the border. It will follow the border of the container, and it will arrange the components. It will arrange the components. Okay. So this border layout is a default layout mechanism for frame or window. Or frame or window. Okay, so meaning that in this border layout, all the components are going to arrange based on the borders of the container. Based on the borders of the container. Okay, generally if you observe this content, this is a kind of container. Assume this is a kind of a container. If you assume, so this I can call it as north border. This I can call it as east border, and this I can call it as west border, and this I can call it as south border, and the middle I can call it as center. Middle I can call it as center. Meaning that they have divided this container into 5 regions. They have divided this container into 5 regions. So in each region I can place one component. In each region I can place one component so that so that I can able to place five components in my entire container. Guys, if you observe the previous examples, while explaining here, I moved to the applets concept. I moved to the applets, and there I have explained all the programs related to the components. Okay, why? Now you can understand the reason. if I'm trying to add two buttons to the container, and I am trying to execute this, what will happen? Observe. Java C space components example dot Java. Java space. Observe guys, how many buttons you got? You got only one button. You got only one button. If I am able to, divide that container into 5 regions, divide that area that container into 5 regions, I can able to place 5 components or not? Yes. Sir, if I would like to place more components, then what I need to do? For example, this is a big container. So north region I don't want to split, east region I don't want to split, south region I don't want to split. I would like to add multiple containers in the west region. Then what I will do? I will use one more border layout for which region? West region. For west region, and I can make a divide of multiple components. So here, what kind of layout you can use? That can be depend upon your requirement once again. Here it is as it is center region, meaning that in the inside one region I can able to use another layout to add more number of components. But if you use generally border layout, you can able to place only maximum of 5 components. 5 components. Okay, fine. For example, if you observe any kind of website, that website looks like here JK Publications or JK Material website. JK Material website. And here I am going to provide various kind of information. Here I would like to provide 2 buttons. One is register button, another one is login button. Here I am going to place something like copyrights information. So label is a one kind of component, right? Here I would like to place some kind of drop down list. That's it. Drop down list. So if you would like to implement this kind of features, this kind of structure, then I can go for border layout. Guys, I am saying that every individual region I can able to split again into different layouts. That depends upon your need. Okay, fine. So how to tell to the system that I need to add my component to the north region, I need to add my component to the west region, I need to add my component to south region, east or center. So this border layout is also a predefined class. So I'm going to explain clearly for the first one and remaining all the same. Predefined class, it is having various kind of data members. All the data members are public, static, final, int, meaning that all are constant. Center, north, south, east, west. These are all the various kind of constants which we can use it to represent the various kind of regions in our container. So all these are all available in which package? You already know by default. Java dot AWT dot border layout. That's it. So if you would like to implement this kind of feature, first you need to create object of this class or not. Yes. How we are going to create the object of this class? Border layout, some object name equal to new border layout. That's it. Okay. Before going to that, let me show various kind of constructors. One kind of constructor is a parameterless constructor. It is going to create default border layout, and there is no gap between various kind of borders. There is no gap between various kind of borders. Guys, if you observe here, is there any gap between the various kind of borders? No gap. So if you would like to make that, I can go for parameterless constructor. If you would like to make some kind of gap between all the regions, then I can go for parameters constructor to make horizontal split, that is int horizontal, int vertical. So what kind of split you need to do? So what it is going to do, it is going to make the default border layout, and it is going to provide a gap between the regions. Gap between the regions. That's it. So, what is the procedure that you need to follow while implementing a border layout or any kind of layout? First, you need to uh, select. First, we need to select the container. I am generalizing ma. First, you need to select the container. That can be a frame, panel, or an applet, or what, or a window, or anything. You need to select a container, and you need to apply various kind of properties. I know size, visibility, all these properties you need to apply. Then we need to define the layout mechanism. We need to define the layout mechanism. Which layout mechanism I am going to follow to my container. Layout mechanism I need to follow to my container. Then I am going to set that layout mechanism through set layout method. Through set layout method. So this set layout method is meant for which container, that container, through that container object I need to call. For example, if it is a frame, through that, to the frame I am going to set this layout mechanism. I am going to pass the layout mechanism. I'm just overviewing. Okay na? Then after setting the corresponding layout, I am going to add all the components. I am going to create the components. Then I am going to add all my components here. I'm going to add all my components here. Okay, fine. If you didn't understood here, there is no problem at all. Just I will go for taking. I will take an example so that you will get a very much clear idea about that. Okay, now. So what I will do is I will make, so first, so you can take either a frame or an applet or whatever it may be. For that you need to set some kind of layout mechanism. If you take frame, if you take the frame, by default it is having what kind of layout, border layout it is applied. Okay, right. So what I will do is I remove everything. So guys, I hope you understood why I made this anonymous inner class, because to support the feature of closing button. Support the feature of closing button. Yes, I made this thing as this. Now what I am going to do is I am going to set the title. I am going to set the size. I am going to set the background color. I am going to set the title of the frame. All that I set. Now that is what I said. First, I have created a frame. I have created a frame, and then what I need to, set all the titles, all those. I'm just worrying it. All I need to set all the titles. Then you need to define the type of layout mechanism you are going to follow. What type of layout mechanism I am going to follow here? For example, let me take border layout mechanism. Border layout mechanism. Okay, border layout mechanism is available in which package? AWD package. So I have already written there. So there is no need to write again. So border layout some b equal to new border layout. Border layout. Guys, I have written parameterless constructor. Parameterless constructor. Yes, I have created a border layout object. Now what I need to do? I need to set this border layout mechanism to make it understand to the container. What container I need to make it understandable to the frame? To the frame. Guys, where I am available right now? I am right now available in the frame class only. Frame extended class. So no need to define once again the object. If you would like to do, you can write this dot set layout of this dot set layout of what you need to pass here. You need to pass object of layout. Object of layout. Yes, that is what I said, right? The first one only somewhat difficult. See, set layout mechanism method is going to take the layout manager object. Layout manager object. So it is going to take the layout manager border layout object only, right? Yes. Set layout of the, yes. What does what it does? What is the meaning of this one? Trying to make tell to the container I am using tell to the container I am using border layout. That I am using border layout. Okay, if you wish to write this, you can write. If you don't want, you no need to write. That all depends on your wish. So the same meaning, right? Yes. I said I tell to the my container I am using border layout. Yes. Next step is immediate statement is what you need to add all the components. Which are the components we require? All those components you can add. Now for all examples, I am taking the button class, button component, button b1 equal to new button of button of. For example, I am taking button name is north. You know, parameter is constructor button. So I am setting the label as north. I'm trying to take 5 buttons so that you can able to understood five, as we can able to place 5 regions, right? North, south. You can add anyway, south, east, west, center. So and the reference should be this. So 5 buttons I have created. Now my requirement is I would like to add add all these buttons to my container. All these my buttons to the container. How we are going to add all these buttons to the container? By using add method. You know already. In the previous class also I said. By using add method I can able to add, but in the previous class I have shown only a single parameter method, add method, by following add of button b, add of all like that I have. There is one more method which is available in a container class which is taking 2 parameters. First parameter is the reference of the component. Second parameter is alignment. Second parameter is alignment. Or you can take first parameter as alignment and second parameter as a reference of the component. That your wish you can take. Okay, fine. So now I am going to use add method. So so to which container I need to add this button summer? To the frame container. To the frame container. So as I am in the same class, same extended class, I need to use this dot specifically. I need to use this dot. So that is the reason I am typing directly add of. So which button component I need to add? B1. So for example, my B1 need to add in the north location directly. North location. So where is north location? See, I would like to make like as in this structure. So to make it available north, I need to use the keyword. Now I need to use the constant north only. But that north is available in which class? Order layout class dot north. All are constant. Okay, button B1 is in north. I will make all written ones. Okay. This is button B2, button B3, button B4, button B5. See, button B5 is at which location? I need to add at the center. B4 is at west. B3 at east. Is at south. Right? I can use some other label names here, but you can't understood that directly. Okay, I have added. I have added to my container. I have added to my container and it is following border layout mechanism. And the remaining all are same. If I wish to close, I can close and I can call this. Yes, successfully compiled. Observe guys. So this is a button, north button. This is a west button, center button, south button, east button. If you would like to rename, you can rename also. See, observe. So north button name is A. North button name is A, and south button name is, I would like to make it in clockwise. Clockwise. So clockwise north east of, then you'll get east. East is B. Uh, South is C, and E west. And but that depends. So in order to avoid confusion for you, I take like that. So sir, A B C D E. Okay, these are all the labels that you are viewing. Okay, so this is the concept of border layout. Okay, fine. Next kind of layout, the second one, flow layout. Flow layout. So this is the default layout for panel or applet. So while executing the applet, I have shown. While executing the applet, I have shown all are going to arrange. See how while executing the applets of the various kind of components, all are going to arrange in the row by row or not. If I am going to extend the frame, or I am going to adjust or not. Yes. So the concept of flow layout is, in this one, in this one, all the components are going to arrange uh, from left to right, left to right, uh, left to right, row by row, row by row. I mean, if it is a container, if it is a container, first it starts adding the component from here. Next container it is going to add here. Next container it is going to add here. If this container is complete, this row is completely full, then it is going to come here. It is going to come here. If it is, this row is also complete, then it comes to here. But suppose if you extracted this, then obviously all are adjusted to this location. I hope you understood. All the components are going to arrange by default left to right, line by line, that is row by row, row by row. Okay, now fine. So that arrangement can be either from left to right or top to bottom also. Top to bottom. That depends upon the implementation. But the default is left to right. You can take top to bottom also. Okay, fine. So if you wish to specify, the gap between the various kind of components, then you can specify here also. Okay, fine. In the previous explanation, I have given a constructor where I can able to show the gap between the regions, but I didn't show in the example. See, border layout, comma here. I would like to give okay, make big size. 10 comma 10. Height horizontal, vertical. I need to make the gap of 10 10. Observe. You will get a gap. See. But in the previous case, you didn't get the gap. You didn't get the gap. That is the default constructor. Now, if I pass two parameters as a horizontal and vertical space, so that is the reason you got gaps between the various kind of components. Okay, fine. So here also similarly, here also by default there is no gap. If you wish to provide a gap, you can also provide the gap. Okay, fine. So this flow layout is also predefined class. So it is having a constructor that is a default constructor. So it is going to create the layout. It is going to create the flow layout. Flow layout. If you wish to make alignment, you can go for flow layout of alignment constructor. So meaning that by using this constructor, you can able to get the output by using specified alignment. By using specified alignment. Okay. So this alignment can be various type of constants again. This alignment can be from center, or it can be from left, or it can be from right, or it can be from leading, or it can be from trailing up. So you know the meaning of all this. Okay. If you wish to specify the gap, I can go for third type of constructor, flow layout of int alignment, horizontal space and vertical space. Vertical space. Okay, fine. So let me show a simple example. So this right now, the flow layout is not the default layout for the frame. Now I am trying to apply my own layout for the frame, Amma. So that is why I am taking the flow layout. Flow layout of something. Guys, I'm not changing anything. I'm not changing anything. Flow layout I have created, and I'm trying to set to the container, tell to the container that I am using flow layout. I'm using flow layout, and I have added 5 buttons, and I no need of all this, right? I mean, sorry. I need to add to the where? I need to add to the container or not? Yes. Add of the 5, 3, 4, and the remaining all are the same. So this is the uh, yeah, closing. So you can find the all are arranged. So, but in the previous case, all are arranged, all are attached to the borders. All are attached to the borders. Now they attached, they are arranged in the from, they arranged from left to right. See, first observe. First I have added A button. See, observe. First I have added A button, C button, B button, D button, E button. In the same order, they are added like that. If we wish to minimize, observe guys, if you wish to minimize, they are going to come row by row. They are going to come row by row. Wish to close? Or else I would like to take some few more buttons. Sorry. Six, seven. So if I add, you will get the clear cut. Seven, eight, and we'll set the size 400 by 300. Okay, and now also it is enough for that. Click observe. It is going to arrange the row by row as width is decreasing. As width is increasing, it is going to arrange in a single row. Directly. Okay, fine. If you wish to set that flow layout, I can make that flow layout by passing. If you observe, you can observe the difference between the outputs. Previous output, the present output. Observe, in the previous, all are arranged in the left. Now it is arranged. So see, observe. Now it is going towards right. But in the previous, if I am trying to extend, all are going towards the left side. Towards the left side. If you observe, if I minimize, all are going to fill first towards right side, then it is going. It is going. Okay. So this is the concept of flow layout. Okay. So next kind of layout, grid layout. Grid layout. So the name itself provides it will be look like in the form of a grid. So in grid layout, so first flow layout is going to arrange in the form of row by row. First, border layout is going to arrange in the form of based on the concept of borders. Flow layout is going to arrange in the form of row by row, row by row. Now, this grid layout is going to place all the components in the form of rows and columns. The form of rows and columns. I mean, in simple words, I can say that it is in the form of two-dimensional grid. In the form of two-dimensional grid, it look like that, like this. So here I can place one component, one component, one component, one component. So total I can place how many components? Total I can place 9 components I can place. Whereas in border layout I can place 5 components. Like that I can use. So if you wish to add more number of components, I can able to use one more layout here, and I can add more number of components. Okay, fine. So 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 if you so it is also having a predefined class. So that is grid layout. So it is having various kind of constructors. One is a default constructor, that is parameterless constructor or zero argument constructor. If you use this one, if you use this one, it is going to create a layout. It is going to create a layout with one column, one column, and one row. One column and one row. One column and one row means it's a single component. I can able to place only single component. Place only single component. There is one more kind of constructor. So parameter is to double parameter constructor. I can able to take the total number of rows. I can able to take total number of columns. Meaning that, for example, if I am passing here 3 comma 3, so it look like this structure. Okay, fine. And whatever the grids it is going to create, all the grids are of all the grids are of same size. All the grids are of same size. And also one more thing, if you would like to add components, then you need to fill the first component by component. If you wish, so I have added 4 components. I don't want to add component here, but I would like to add component here. It is not possible in grid layout, meaning that I can't place blank component here. Instead of that, I can pick some label. That label also empty label, so that it is filled something. That's it. Then I can go for the next grid. Otherwise, I mean, what I would like to say is here, blank components are not allowed. So I mean, blank spaces are not allowed. Blank spaces are not allowed. So if you would like to provide a blank space, so that is with the help of your own design. So I can able to create a label without any kind of parameter, so that it will look like nothing appears here. Then I can go for next. So that is a problem in the grid layout. That is the problem in the grid layout. Okay, fine. If you wish to add, see, sorry. So in the previous example also, I would like to give gap. I would like to give gap. If you would like to give gap, I can able to provide the gap. 10 comma 10, 10 comma 10. So that you can practice actually. See, I have provided a gap between the components. So that for that I have used 3 parameterized flow layout construct. Okay. Now here also, if you wish to provide, you can able to provide the gap that by using grid layout of 4 parameters construct. First one is rows, columns, and horizontal space and vertical space. Vertical space. How we are going to create that by simply creating an object of the grid layout class. So that I will take example here. Now here I would like to take a grid layout. Grid layout. I am taking B only, no problem. Nothing. Grid layout of grid layout of. I would like to take 4 by 4 or 4 by 3 or something. Or I will take so total here. How many components are there? 3 by 3 components are there. Now let's check what output you can expect. What output you can expect. See, the remaining process is same, right? I'm saying that I'm trying to create the object for grid layout. I'm trying to tell the compiler that I'm trying to use grid layout, and I'm going to add these buttons by calling the add method. By calling the add method, and remaining process to compile. See, what is the output you got? What is 3 by 3? 3 by 3 is total 9. Here you got hmm, I can able to add. I can able to add so 3 columns. Why it is getting like this? Okay, ma. So you can understood that. So you can understood that I can able to place here one button, one button, one button, one button, one button like this. You can able to place. For example, I am trying to pass here 4 by 4. 4 by 4. Observe here actually you require 16, right? 16, right? Observe here you will get how many? So we have to take the exact amount. See, observe. It is going to take the default. The thing is you have to observe. The thing is you have to specify the correct grids. You have to specify the correct number of grids. Otherwise, it is going to behave its own way. Otherwise, it is going to behave its own way. For example, see, I'm going to pass 3 by 3. So how many buttons I require? I require only 9 buttons. I'm going to take out the button 10. Take out button 10. Now observe. Now you'll get the correct output. See, am I right or not? If you wish to provide space, I can go for 10, 10. But so in this A button, instead of A button, I can take one component, any component. Instead of C component, I can take any component. That component I can able to divide once again. I mean, in this component, I can create a frame and I can make use of something. Okay, fine. Now I would like to make 4 by 4. See, observe. It is going to behave in another way. We can't expect that. We will get something. See, observe. So even though you define like 4 rows and 4 columns, it is getting only 3 rows and 3 columns. 3 columns. But actually, if it is taking that, I need to complete first 4 columns, then next row. But it is not doing like that. So maximum try to specify the exact way. Exactly. Okay, fine. So this is all about the grid layout. Uh, Next kind of layout. So um, grid bag uh, layout. Grid bag layout. So it is going to overcome the drawback of grid layout. I mean, in simple words, I would like to say, it is same as it is similar to grid layout, grid layout. But the thing is, uh, the component sizes need not be equal. Component sizes need not be equal. Need not be equal. I mean, if you observe here, if you observe in this execution, all the components are of same size. All the components are of same size. But if you would like to have something which is related to like this, first I need to have a complete space, then I need to have like this, like this. Then grid layout is not supposed to use because this kind of feature doesn't support because This grid layout mechanism is only supported for all the components are of same size. So if you like to have the components which are not equal, then I can go for grid back layout. And also the problem that I have explained here, blank spaces are not allowed. But here I can allow the blank spaces. Blank spaces. Okay, fine. So this grid back layout, I'm going to explain in a swing sum. In swings, I can explain. So generally, this grid back layout is available in a package called java.aw.gridbag layout. So what is the constructor? If you see the profile of constructor, you can see grid back layout. That's it. Okay, fine. So this is the basic concept about grid back layout. And next kind of layout is chord layout. Chord layout. So this chord layout, it is going to uh, arrange all the components in the form of layer sum. It is going to arrange all the components in the form of layers. How the layers are going to arrange? For example, let us take this is a kind of frame container. Frame, on the top of that one more frame, on the top of the one more frame, like that. For example, Auto Sketchbook is a one frame. So on that edit plus is one frame. On that command prompt is one frame. On that on that Google Meet is one frame. Like that, the frames are going to arrange. Like that, all the containers are going to arrange. Meaning that, so when you are going to move for this kind of feature, whenever you wish to view, only one component at a time, only one component at a time, then I can go for chord layout. Meaning that in chord layout, each component it will treat as one chord. Each component will treat as one component. That is why it is called as a chord layout. I mean, so depending upon some operation, uh, one component need to be hidden, and the another component need to be visible. Other situation, you can go for chord layout. For example, a simple deck of cards. I mean, playing cards are there, right? How they are arranged? They are arranged one by one. So once you open one card, then only you can view the next card. Like that, if you wish to implement a mechanism, then I can go for card layout. So how we are going to? So this card layout is also a class. So it is having a constructor card layout, like that. That's it. So it is not. So for example, how many frames how many frames you wish to uh, available in the form of layers means, for example, I made 4, meaning that 4 frames. For example, here how many frames? This is one frame, this is one frame, this is one frame, and this is one frame, like that. All are so like that. If you wish to specify, you can specify card layout of 4 frames. So 4 frames I am going to wish. I mean 4 cards I am going to display, 4 cards I am going to implement. That depending upon the movement, only one card will be displayed for you. So similarly, in grid back layout also you can specify 3 by 3 or 4 by 4. You can also specify the space between all the components, like that you can use. Actually, in card layout, you will have methods like first method, and uh, some kind of methods. Next method, previous method, last method. These are all the various kind of methods are available in the card layout. So what do you mean by first method? This first method is going to provide the first frame. First frame. On that first frame, if you are at this particular frame, if you click on the next frame it is going to display. For example, I am trying to make some illusion 1, 2, 3, 4. Suppose these are all arranged in one by one on top of one by one. First one, back 2, back 3, back 4. I am presently at the first frame and I am using the first method. If we click on next, it will get the second frame. I mean on top now, second frame. If we click on 3, next I will go for 3. If I click on next, I will go for 4. Now also if I click on 4, now it will move to first term. To first. If I am at first, if I click on previous, I can go for this one. If I am at 3, if I click on previous, I will go to 2. Or if I am at 2, if I click on last, I will move to the last. So like this, we'll have various methods. Those you can use. Okay. So this is the basic concept of grid layout and card layout and all the layout mechanisms. Okay, fine. I hope you understood clearly. Thank you.